18. Discourse on Dharmakaka. 64. The Wheel of Dharma. Lay devotees. Do you wish to have happiness? Yes. Of course, we wish to have happiness, answered the gathered audience. Well, if you wish to have happiness, you should not love yourself and you should not love other people. Love, 65, eventually leads to suffering. Love is just a cover name for attachment, samadhuya, which only brings about suffering. But we still want to love although you tell us not to, replied the audience. You may argue that you still want to love although I admonish you not to. You love because of ignorance, avijja. If you know the truth by shedding ignorance, you won't love, or get attached to, or crave for anyone or anything. That is why, because of ignorance, avijja, you desire, you crave, and because of craving, tanha, you get obsessed and cling to what you want. And because of obsessive clinging, upadana, you pursue to get what you crave for, bhava, existence. And because of this pursuance, you get it, jati, 66, rebirth. And when you do get it, jati, you suffer the consequences, dukkha. So, if you want to love and get attached, be prepared for the worst. Ignorance of the truth is called avijja. Desire or craving is tanha. When ignorance, avijja, and craving, tanha, combine to make a cause, the resultant is birth, jati, which eventually leads to countless distress, i.e. aging, disease, death, sorrow, lamentation, grief, despair, so don't complain. Well, if you know the truth, after dispelling ignorance, you won't crave or have any desire. Because you don't crave, you don't pursue. And because you don't pursue, you don't get any. And if you don't get any, there is peace and happiness. Even the exalted Buddha, let alone the worldling devotees here, only when he sat down on the golden Aparahita throne of victory under the Bodhi tree on the bank of Neranjara river and contemplated deep enough on his own body did he saw the truth through perfect self-enlightenment. After the eye of Dharma opened to reveal the ultimate truth of universe, loka, the existence in this world, he declared the first paean of joy, udana. O universe! Now, I know what you are. Through many a birth in existence wandered I, seeking, but not finding, the builder of this dwelling, living in various houses built by craving, tanha, calling them as men, celestials, beings, not knowing who the builder of the house is. Now, I know the truth about you, O universe. How his Dharma I saw and knew was like this. He saw the continual processes of arising and perishing nature of the three factors of life, namely, mind, chitta, concomitants of mind, cetasika, and matter, rupa, in fleeting succession. These are beings and their world is the world of living beings, animate world, satta loka. Then there are the sum total of conditioning factors, karmic formations, with the conditioned mental and physical phenomena, known as the conditioned world, sankhara loka, world of karmic formations. The sphere they all dwell in, which forms their habitat, is the world of space, inanimate world, okasa loka. These are the three internal world, the world within. As for the external world, the sum of all living beings are collectively known as world of beings, animate world, satta loka. The conditioned world consisting of the sum of all conditioning factors, karmic formations, with the conditioned mental and physical phenomena is the world of sankhara, sankhara loka. The sphere they all dwell in, forming their habitat, is called the world of space, inanimate world, okasa loka. These are the three external world, the world outside. Upon knowing the truth about the whole world, the exalted Buddha boldly declared thus: Craving, tanha, all the various houses that you have built. The house is human, the house is celestial. I had destroyed them all. O builder of the house! You are now seen. You shall build no house again. All the rafters of craving, tanha, have been broken, and the ridgepoles shattered. Demolished are the walls of ignorance, avijja. Destroyed are the nails of doubts, sakkaya ditthi. Because the Buddha had seen the truth, known the truth, he did not crave for existence anymore. Because he had no craving for further existence, he did not pursue, nor did any karmic deeds that would result in rebirths. Because he did not pursue, he did not get any further rebirths. And because he did not get any more rebirths, hence no more subsequent sufferings, he attained ultimate peace, nibbana, the unconditioned state. Thus, the Buddha, after his pari-nibbana, realizing nibbana by passing away, he was not born again because he genuinely and truly did not want any more rounds of birth. Did he get any more birth? Jati. No, he didn't, Venerable Sir, replied the audience. The exalted Buddha gave his first sermon on the truth he had just discovered, famously known as Dhammacakka Pavatana Sutta, to the 5 ascetics in Migadhavana forest, the deer park, at Isapatana near Benares. The essence of the sermon in Pali was: Kakam Udapadi, vision arose. Nanam Udapadi, knowledge arose. Panna Udapadi, wisdom arose. Vijja Udapadi, higher knowledge arose. Eloko Udapadi, light arose. Say supposing, if Shin Kondana, 67, one of the 5 ascetics, were to ask what the first phrase, Kakam Udapadi, was. It meant, the opening of eye of Dharma which could see the truth. If he were to ask again, what is meant by the eye of Dharma seeing the truth? It meant, Apiyehi sampayogo dukkho, to be associated with those you do not love is suffering. Piyehi vipa yogo dukkho, to be separated from those you love is suffering. Yam pikam na labati tam pai dukkam. Not to get what one desires is suffering. The in-depth meaning of the verse, Apiyehi sampayogo dukkho, was like this: the eye of Dharma makes you see the 3 realities, namely, mind, citta, concomitants of mind, cetasika, and matter, rupa, in the continual unpleasant process of birth, jati, decay, jara, and death, marana. Upon discovering this, when birth, jati, occurs, do you want decay, aging, jara, and death, marana, to follow? Of course not. Although you do not love or wish to be associated with it, you cannot help it. You do not know when this inseparable union of birth, decay, death phenomenon had started. The obvious truth is, since time immemorial of samsara, birth inevitably proceeds to decay and death whether you love it or not. And hence, Buddha had admonished the verse, Apiyehi sampayogo dukkho, meaning, to be associated with one you do not love is suffering. He came to discern unequivocally that birth and decay, the arising and perishing away, phenomena of these 3 realities of life, mind concomitants of mind matter, are in fact true suffering. Acknowledging the truth of suffering, dukkha sakka, he searched for the root cause of this suffering. And he found that greed craving, lobha tanha, which is the seat of attachment, samadhuya, to be the root of all miseries. Hence, he sees the truth of the origin of suffering, samadhuya sakka. Discovering the root cause, the more powerful one, insight versus attachment, tries to get the upper hand. Meanwhile, these 3 ultimate realities, mind concomitants of mind and matter, are staying closely bound together. They are clinging to one another steadfastly, hating to be parted from one another. Their desire to be always together, their fear to be separated from one another are understandable, as they have been in inseparable union since infinity. And hence Buddha had said, Piyehi vipa yogo dukkho, meaning, to be separated from one you love is suffering. Having found the truth of the origin of suffering, samadhuya sakha, you wish fervently to be liberated from this suffering, dukkha, but in vain. This unfulfilled wish makes you miserable. That is why the exalted Buddha had admonished the verse, Yam pikam na labati tam pai dukkham, meaning, not to get what one desires is suffering. This firmly bound attachment among these three elements, mind concomitants of mind and matter, is known as Sakkaya Ditthi, wrong view with respect to mind-body phenomena, illusion of self. Elimination of greed craving, Lobha Tanha, the origin of suffering, by Magga, path insight, is the truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering, Magga Sakha. This elimination by Magga results in disarray of the tightly knitted bond of the three fundamental elements, mind concomitants of mind and matter, into shattered fragments, leading to the cessation of the cycle of cause and effect. And that is Nirodha, the truth of cessation of suffering, Nirodha Sakha. By virtue of the vision, eye of Dharma, there arises the full understanding of the Four Noble Truths, Arya Sakha, namely 1. The truth of suffering, Dukkha Sakha. 2. The truth of the origin of suffering, Samudaya Sakha. 3. The truth of cessation of suffering, Nirodha Sakha. 4. The truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering, Magga Sakha. That is why the Buddha had stated, Kakam Udapadi, meaning, vision arose. That is how the eye of Dharma open, which enables to see things in their ultimate reality, and discern fully well the truth. And this understanding and knowledge of the truth is what Buddha had declared as Nanam Udapadi, meaning, knowledge arose. As the eye of Dharma opens up, sees the truth and understands the phenomena in its true form, the wisdom, Panna, comprehends and analyzes the truth as such. This is matter, Rupa. This is mind, Nama. This is consciousness, Chitta. This is concomitants of mind, Cetasika. This is the truth of suffering, Dukkha Sakha. This is the truth of the origin of suffering, Samadhuya Sakha. This is the truth of the path leading to the end of suffering, Magga Sakha. This is the truth of cessation of suffering, Nirodha Sakha. So, this experiencing and discerning these Four Noble Truths, Arya Sakha, is called Sotapatti Magga, stream winner knowledge, the first stage, and Sotapatti Phala, its fruition. For the second time, this is matter, Rupa. This is mind, Nama. This is consciousness, Chitta. This is concomitants of mind, Cetasika. This is the truth of suffering, Dukkha Sakha. This is the truth of the origin of suffering, Samadhuya Sakha. This is the truth of the path leading to the end of suffering, Magga Sakha. This is the truth of cessation of suffering, Nirodha Sakha. So, this experiencing and discerning these Four Noble Truths, Arya Sakha, is called Sakadagami Magga, once returner knowledge, the second stage, and Sakadagami Phala, its fruition. For the third time, this is matter, Rupa. This is mind, Nama. This is consciousness, Chitta. This is concomitants of mind, Cetasika. This is the truth of suffering, Dukkha Sakha. This is the truth of the origin of suffering, Samadhuya Sakha. This is the truth of the path leading to the end of suffering, Magga Sakha. This is the truth of cessation of suffering, Nirodha Sakha. So, this experiencing and discerning these four noble truths, Arya Saka, is called Anagami Magga, non-returner knowledge, the third stage, and Anagami Phala, its fruition. For the fourth time, this is matter. Rupa. This is mind. Nama. This is consciousness. Chitta. This is concomitance of mind. Cetasika. This is the truth of suffering. Dukkha Saka. This is the truth of the origin of suffering. Samadhuya Saka. This is the truth of the path leading to the end of suffering. Magga Saka. This is the truth of cessation of suffering. Nirodha Saka. So, this experiencing and discerning these four noble truths, Arya Saka, is called Arahata Magga, Arahat knowledge, the fourth and final stage, and Arahata Phala, its fruition. Wisdom, Panna, comprehends and analyzes the following as well. This is the animate world. Satta Loka, the world of sentient beings. This is the conditioned world. Sankhara Loka, the world of karma formations. This is the inanimate world. Okasa Loka, the world which forms the base, the habitat of all sentient beings. This is the three internal world, internal Loka. This is the three external world, external Loka. This is how Panna, wisdom, discerns and analyzes. And hence Buddha had said, Panna, Udapadi, meaning, wisdom arose. The eye of Dharma, vision, opens up letting you see things in its real nature so you come to understand the truth. Understanding the truth, Panna analyzes and discern further by the light of Dharma whereby higher knowledge arose. And because of this Buddha had admonished, Vijja Udapadi, meaning, higher knowledge arose. The Dharma eyes open to let you see the truth. As you see the truth, you know the truth. As you know the truth, knowledge, Panna, discerns on the flash of enlightenment. And knowledge makes judgment in the universe. In a universe? That is why Buddha had admonished. Eloko Udapadi, meaning, light arose. The Dharma eyes open and see the truth and understand the truth. Knowledge discerns and make judgment on the light of enlightenment in the world, Loka. Hence Buddha had admonished, Kakam Udapadi, vision arose. Nanam Udapadi, knowledge arose. Panna Udapadi, wisdom arose. Vijja Udapadi, higher knowledge arose. Eloko Udapadi, light arose. Discourse on Patthana. A discourse on Patthana, conditional relations, was delivered in question and answer manner on request by Thakhin Nyu, Yu Nyu, ex-Prime Minister of Myanmar. Sunlun. Thakhin Nyu. When you were in Yangon, you had heard of Sunlun Gu Kiyong Sayadaw Yu Kawi presiding in Myingyan, hadn't you? Nyu. Yes, Venerable Sir, I had heard. Sunlun. That is Hetu, the root cause called Hetu Pakaya, 68, root condition. Then, your thought extended, well, I shall go and see the Sayadaw there. Isn't it so? Nyu. Yes it is, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. That is the thought taking hold of you, i.e., the process of the mind going over and attaching itself to an object, here, mind-object, thought. It is called object condition, Aramana, 69, Pakaya. Then you thought, whatever come may, whatever happens, I must go to see the Sunlun Sayadaw. This determined thought, which serves as the object condition, Aramana, impels and draws your body to come here, so you are now meeting me. This is because Aramana, Here, thought, mind object, serves as the cause, conditions the predominance factor, dominating your mind to move and propels the body, resulting in effect, to come here. And that is known as predominance condition. Adhipati, 70. Pakaya. New. Yes, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. The reason why you wanted to come and see me here, the mind object, the thought wanting to see the Sayadaw, is you had met me before, in your past existence, so this past incident of having met before caused, conditioned the desire to meet me now, and hence this present meeting. And this will also cause, condition the meeting between you and me in the future. Because you desire to meet me, you are meeting me now, and you will meet me again in the future. Have you eaten pork meat before? New. Yes, I have, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. Well, because you have eaten pork meat before, you want to eat it now. And because you desire to eat it, you eat it now and you will eat it again in future. Have you eaten dog meat before? New. No, Venerable Sir, I haven't. Sunlun. That is because you had not eaten dog meat before, you have no desire to eat it now. And because you don't want to eat it, you do not eat it now and you are not likely to eat it in future too. The same as well, because you had listened to this kind of Dharma in the past, you want to listen to it now. And because you want to listen to it now, you are listening to it and you will listen to it in the future as well. That covers and connects the conditionality and casual relations of proximity condition, anantara pakaya, and contiguity, immediacy, condition, samanantara pakaya, co-nascence, co-arising, condition, sahajata pakaya, mutuality condition, condition by way of mutuality, anumana pakaya. New. That is true, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. Now that you are here, I tell you to pay homage to the Buddha, send loving kindness, metta, share your merits, offer yourself, body and mind, to the Buddha, then, keep your mind at the nostril tip. As you breathe in and out, you will be aware of the air touching that area, and you have to be mindful of that awareness of touch of air at the nostril. All these are the causal relations of dependence, support, condition, nisaya pakaya, strong, powerful, dependence condition, upanasaya pakaya. New. Yes, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. While meditating, do the eyes look around here and there? New. No, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. The ears, do they listen to anything? New. No, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. The nose, does it smell anything? New. No, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. The tongue, does it desire to taste anything? New. No, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. The body, does it want to go here and there? New. No, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. Well, in that case, the faculties of all senses, 5 indras. The eye faculty, Kakhandra, ear faculty, Satindra, nose faculty, Gananda, tongue faculty, Jivhindra, body faculty, Kayanda. They are all well guarded and in restraint, aren't they? New. Yes, they are, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. That is called faculty condition, Indriya pakaya. When you practice frequently to be mindful of the awareness of touch of air at your nostril tip, there arises the qualities of jhana, mental absorption, absorptive concentration, meaning the mind is fixed on an object with concentration resulting in pure clear state of mind. Jhana actually means the burning up of impurities of mind, the destruction of mental defilements. The process of practice brings about, become the cause, condition for jhana. That is jhana condition, jhana pakakaya. New. Very well, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. When I tell you to be mindful of the awareness of sensation in your body, say heat in your body. The heat sensation and the awareness of it will extinguish together, eventually. If it is cold sensation, just be mindful of the awareness of that cold sensation. The cold sensation and the awareness of it will terminate together, eventually. This whole process is the cause, condition for the cultivation and development of the path, magga, in search of truth, hence called path condition, magga pakaya. New. Yes, Venerable Sir. Sunlun. When you strive strenuously and diligently for many a time along the path, your concentration, samadhi, becomes more and more powerful, resulting in sharpness of udayabhayanana, which is insight knowledge pertaining to the contemplation of arising and dissolving away of conditioned things, mind matter. This insight knowledge will cause condition to let you to realize and acknowledge the elements that are truly present, and elements that do not exist in reality but are absent. The elements that are truly present are mind, chitta, concomitants of mind, cetasika, matter, rupa, nibbana. The four ultimate realities, paramatta. The elements that do not exist in reality but absent are my leg, my hand, my head, those pertaining to I, me, mine, self, atta, and so these are in the causal nature of presence condition, athi pakaya, and absence condition, nathi pakaya. This insight knowledge will also cause condition to let you comprehend and acknowledge the element of disappearance, disappearance of mind, concomitants of mind and matter, that which is unconditioned, and the element of non-disappearance, non-disappearance of mind, concomitants of mind and matter, that which is conditioned. The element of disappearance, unconditioned, is asankatadhatu, nibbana. That which is not conditioned by conditioning factors, see footnote. And that is disappearance condition, vigata pakaya. The element of non-disappearance, conditioned, is sankatadhatu, 71, i.e., all conditioned phenomena, nama rupa, mind matter. And that is non-disappearance condition, avagata pakaya. Note: only the essentials, those related to Vipassana practice, are written for the discourse on Patthana. N.B. Patthana is said to be the most profound, subtle and abstruse part of the Abhidhamma Pitaka of Buddha's teachings. It is the subject that deals with the absolute analysis of the four ultimate realities, mind, concomitants of mind, matter and nibbana, as the conditioning states, causes, pakaya, conditioned states, effects, pakayapana, and conditioning forces, pakayasati, with reference to the 24 conditions, such as root condition, hetu. In essence, what the Buddha had taught in Patthana are those mind and matter states which arise and disintegrate at every instant without a break in the continuity of the so-called animate and inanimate things. Patthana not only describes the cause and effect but also explains how the cause conditions the effect to rise. In fact, Patthana is a vast source of Buddhist knowledge and it contains everything necessary to show forth the way to Nibbana. In its absolute sense, Patthana is conditional relations, i.e., the relations between the conditioning states, cause, pakaya dharma, and the conditioned states, effect, pakaya panadharma, by means of the conditioning forces, pakaya sati, the force of the condition that makes the cause relate to the effect by its specific functions of production, janaka, support, upatambhaka, and maintenance, inupalana. The effect never fails to arise when the cause is established. In fact, Patthana is a vast source of Buddhist knowledge and it contains everything necessary to show forth the way to Nibbana. 20. Eradication of anusaya, latent defilements, by Magga, path knowledge. Sayadaw U Kawi answers to questions by devotees. Q. Venerable Sir, tell us how Magga, path knowledge, get rid of anusaya, 72, inherent defilements. A. Devotees, there are dharmas that can perceive, that should be perceived, that can realize, that should be realized, that can eradicate, that should be eradicated, that brings about cessation. When a yogi diligently strives for nibbana through vipassana, insight meditation, at one time, he comes to see vividly the phenomena of the three factors of life. Mind concomitants of mind and matter, in truly conspicuous terms. When he perceives that, he comes to realize how enormously unpleasant, dukkha, these three dharmas are. On searching for the root cause of this suffering, dukkha, he finds, with absolute certainty, the culprit to be craving greed, lobha tanha, the seat of attachment, samadhuya. The very instant this true realization occurs, Magga, path knowledge, that sees the truth of origin of suffering, eradicates anusaya, inherent latent defilements, in totality. The Dharma that can perceive these true phenomena of mind concomitants of mind matter and nibbana is known as the Dharma I. The truth-seeing I. The Dharma that should be perceived are the four Ariya Sakha, the Four Noble Truths. The Dharma that can realize Nana, insight knowledge. The Dharma that should be realized are Ariya Sakha, the Four Noble Truths. The Dharma that can eradicate anusaya, latent defilements, is Magga, path knowledge. The Dharma that should be eradicated is samadhuya, greed, craving, attachment. The Dharma that brings about cessation of suffering is nirodha, 73, cessation of dukkha. The three worlds, the three lokas. Understanding and perceiving the phenomena of mind concomitants of mind matter is in fact knowing the world of sentient beings, the animate world, Satta Loka. Understanding the conditioning factors and the conditioned mental and physical phenomena is knowing the world of Sankhara, Sankhara Loka, 74, world of karmic formations, the conditioned world. Understanding the sphere, space that all sentient beings and things depend on and dwell in, is knowing the world of space, the inanimate world, Okasa Loka. These three worlds are interwoven and interpenetrating as one is inseparable from the others. The three insight knowledge, the three Nana. The insight knowledge at the realization of each of the Four Noble Truths in three phases. 1. The insight knowledge that perceives the true phenomenon of mind concomitants of mind and matter is called Sakha Nana, clear knowledge of the absolute nature of each the Four Noble Truths. 2. The path knowledge gained through the performance required for each Noble Truth. The function of Magga is known as Kika Nana, knowledge about what is to be done, knowledge of the function. 3. The path knowledge that removes the latent defilements, anusaya, with the resultant ending of cause and effect, chain is known as Kata Nana, knowledge of the fact that it has been done, knowledge of the accomplishment, knowledge of the completion of the performance required for each noble truth. The three kinds of full understanding. The three parina. 1. Nata parina is the full understanding that discerns accurately the three factors of life. Mind concomitance of mind and matter, in its true state. 2. Tarana parina is the full understanding, full comprehension, analytical knowledge that investigates the cause of suffering, dukkha. 3. Pahana parina is the full understanding, exact knowledge when magga overcomes and abandon the inherent defilements, anusaya. The three vata, the three rounds of rebirths. 1. Kilesa vata, round of defilements. The sum entity of mind concomitance of mind matter, chitta cetasika rupa. In round of rebirths is known as round of defilements. 2. Kama vata, round of karma, volitional actions. The sum entity of wholesome meritorious deeds, kasala, and unwholesome demeritorious deeds, akasala, in round of rebirths is known as round of karma. 3. Vipaka vata, round of karma resultants. The sum entity of resultants of karma, kama formations, jati, jara, bayadi, marana, soka, parideva, dukkha, domanassa, upayasa. Rebirth resulting in decay, disease, death, sorrow, lamentation, grief, despair, in round of rebirths is known as round of kama resultants. The five dharmas that ought to be known and understood, the five nayadams. The following are the five nayadams, naya dharmas, the five dharmas that ought to be known and understood. 1. Sankhara, the kama formations, karma formations, that condition, group together, mind concomitance of mind and matter. Dependent on sankhara, consciousness arises. 2. Vikhara, the processes of arising and disintegrating away of these three ultimate realities in continuous succession. 3. Lakkhana rupa, the four primary essentials of matter, i.e. the elements of earth, water, heat, air, pathavi, apo, teho and vayo dhatu. 4. Nibbana, is the element of nibbana. 5. Panati, the conceptualization, the name-calling, the verbal connotation, such as this is matter, this is mind, these are concomitants of mind. (21) Some random records of questions on Buddhist doctrine and practice. Raised by U Nu, Thakhin Nu, the ex-Prime Minister of Myanmar, member of the Burma Buddha Sasana Nagaha Association of Myanmar, and answers by the Venerable Sunlun Sayadaw. In the year 1948, the 2nd of September, Thursday, 8 p.m., ME 1310 14th waning day of Wagorn. Q. Where in this body do 1500 kilesas, mental defilements, lie latent, Venerable Sir? A. If you want to find out, try to understand jati, birth. They lie latent at jati. Q. How do I understand jati, birth, Venerable Sir? A. There are the four primary elements of matter, Mahabhuta, earth, water, fire and air, Pathavi, Apo, Teho, Vayo Dhatu. You know about it, right? These four primary elements are put together, shaped and conditioned by karmic forces, formations, sankhara, sankhara kanda, 75, thereby arise the consciousness, vijnana kanda, sensation, feeling through sense organs, vedana kanda, and perception, sana kanda. And that is jati, birth. Try to apprehend that jati and you will come to understand. Q. Please discern on Nibbana, Venerable Sir. A. If you want to know about Nibbana, try to find out the dissolving aspect, instant, of mind-matter phenomena, i.e., Ban-Ga, Bin-Zoon. Q. How do I find out Ban-Ga, the dissolving aspect, instant, Venerable Sir? A. When a meditator, yogi, repeatedly contemplates on his body with vigilant mindfulness, sati, in due course, after establishing intense mental concentration, samadhi, he comes to perceive clearly the three fundamentals of life in very minute details. He finds the phenomena of these three, mind concomitants of mind and matter, are intolerably painful and unpleasant. He looks further for the origin of this suffering and discovers the cause to be lobha, the emotive entity comprising of greed, craving, and the like, which bound down to samudaya, attachment. Upon realization of this, magga, path knowledge, arises and exterminates the inherent mental defilements, anusaya. In a flash, the continually occurring processes of arising, standstill, for a nanosecond, vanishing, the so-called chain of genetic, arising, instant, existing instant, dissolving instant, upada titi banga, 76, is cut off and ceases to function. That truth of cessation, of cause and effect, is what I meant by Bin-Zoon, the terminal of Ban-Ga aspect, and that is what you have to find out. End of queries on Nibbana. Random notes of questions and answers on consciousness, awareness. Q. Venerable Sir, you had said when there is a touch, phassa, to your body, or at any sense door, you are aware of it. Does awareness of touch, sense impressions, occur by itself or does it need combination with other factors? A. Awareness occurs only when combined with some other factors. Q. What would they be, Venerable Sir? A. Vedana, sensation, sana, perception, vijnana, consciousness. Only when these three elements are jointly present, awareness occurs. Q. Is there any factor that group them together, Venerable Sir? A. Yes, there is. Q. If so, please tell us, Venerable Sir. A. Vedana, sensation, sana, perception, vijnana, consciousness. These three aggregates, khandas, of mind are rounded up by karmic forces, formations, sankhara, to be at the sense doors formed by the four primary elements, mahabhuta, namely, earth, fire, air and water. Thus, consciousness, of touch at sense doors, phassa, perception, sana, and feeling, sensation, vedana, occur. And that is awareness. End of queries on consciousness, awareness. Sunlun Sayadaw's explanation on the riddles popular at that time. Q. The four trees in human world. Pour cold water to get them perish. Pour warm water to let them flourish. Please discern on this popular riddle, Venerable Sir. A. Regarding the four trees in human world. You have heard of the three worlds, world of humans, world of devas, celestials, and world of Brahma, higher celestials, haven't you? Yes, I have, Venerable Sir. In which world have you heard the Buddha appeared? Only in the human world, Venerable Sir. Yes. The numbers of Buddhas that had attained perfect enlightenment are innumerable. More than the number of sand grains on the banks of River Ganges in India. They all attained perfect enlightenment, Sama Sambodhi, only through understanding the Four Noble Truths, Arya Sakha, and hence the four trees in human world. Pour cold water to get them perish. That means the cool peaceful water of Magga, i.e. the Noble Eightfold Path, when diligently practiced, will get suffering, dukkha, to perish. Pour warm water to let them flourish. It means the hot inflammatory water of defilements, i.e. greed, lobha, hatred, dosa, and delusion, moha, will let suffering to flourish. Q. 3,000 forests but no wood, mid-river but no water, 6 brothers but no sister. Please clarify on this popular saying, Venerable Sir. A. 3 forest but no wood. The Buddha and noble ones, Aryas, live in the 3 worlds of sensuous sphere, fine material sphere, and immaterial sphere, Kama, Rupa, and Arupa lokas, which represent the 3,000 forests. But they do not have any more defilements, Kalesa, which serve as fuel in worldlings, Pathujana, to burn, in samsara. The wood, firewood, which is fuel represents defilements. And so, the saying, 3,000 forests but no wood, mid-river but no water, the minds of the worldlings are like water of the river flow, continually flowing and attaching on sense objects, forever looking for sensual gratification. But Buddha and Aryas do not have mind flow for sensual gratification anymore. Hence, mid-river but no water, 6 brothers but no sister, Buddha and Aryas, though they still have 6 sense doors, doors of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, they no longer dwell on sense objects, aramana, for sensual gratification anymore and therefore, figuratively speaking. 6 brothers but no sister. Q. Legs stretched out even before you sit. Sun rays arise before dawn. Rice cooked even before you cook. Already eaten before it's cooked. Sarong sewn before you have weaved. Worn even before it's stitched. Do tell us what the answer is to this riddle, Venerable Sir. A. They all point out Vitakka, thought, conception of thought. They signify the incredible swiftness, the high volatility and fastness of thoughts. Q. Venerable Sir, at every Buddha's epoch, the number of sentient beings that became enlightened and passed into Nibbana was said to be 20 asankhya, 77, 800 million and 100,000. If that were so, were the number of remaining sentient beings reduced? Or were they not reduced, Venerable Sir? A. Just as you asked. Were the number of remaining sentient beings reduced? Yes. They were. Were they not reduced? No. They were not. Q. How were they reduced? And how were they not reduced? Kindly explain to us, Venerable Sir. A. When I say, the number of living beings were reduced, it means, for example, there were 10 people in your house. If 5 went away, only 5 were left. So, there were a reduction of 5 people as living beings. When I say, the number of living beings were not reduced, it means, in terms of ultimate truth. The entities of mind, chitta, concomitants of mind, cetasika, matter, rupa, nibbana. All these 4 ultimate realities, paramatta, they were not reduced. End of queries on Abhidharma. Some notes on disciplinary rules, Vinaya, for bhikkhus. Q. If a bhikkhu were to inflict himself to bleed, will that be a contravention of the disciplinary rules, Vinaya? Will that act be branded as a dukkata offense, minor offense, by that bhikkhu? A. Yes. It will. Q. Then, why during the Buddha's time, a certain bhikkhu cut his throat with a knife, and by contemplating on the pain, sensation, Vedana, he ultimately attained arahatship and died of the wound? Could that bhikkhu attain arahatship in spite of his infringement in Vinaya rules? A. Yes. It's true he attained magga phala. It was because he didn't commit dukkata offense. Q. The Vinaya rules stated that a bhikkhu commits dukkata offense if bleeding occurs from self-inflicted injury. In this case, not even was there bleeding, he even died from the self-inflicted injury. Then wasn't he guilty of the dukkata offense? A. No. He wasn't guilty of the dukkata offense. Let me give you an example. Look. If you hadn't set any regulation or before you say, don't touch that property, and I did touch it, would I be at fault? No. You wouldn't be at fault, Venerable Sir. If I were to touch it after you had set up a regulation that the property shouldn't be touched, would I be at fault? Yes, Venerable Sir. You would be at fault. Closing square bracket. Likewise, it's the same with the bhikkhu aforementioned. It's true he was free from fault. And it was also true that he attained magga phala. Gladly satisfied with your clarification, Venerable Sir. Closing square bracket. End of queries on Vinaya. Query on Sutta. Q. Please may I ask you one question, Venerable Sir? In the Sutta Mahavagga Pali, of the Daya Nikaya, on Maha Parinibbana Sutta, it was said there were distribution of Buddha's relics, by Brahmana Dona. It was said this sutta was also spoken by the Buddha. Then was the distribution of the relics done before the Buddha's parinibbana, or who actually did the distribution? A. Vammi Suttam, thus I have heard. Who had spoken those words? Regarding the distribution of the Buddha's relics. Meaning the suttas always started with the person relating, Vammi Suttam, thus I have heard of. The discourse told to me by the Buddha, and this does not have this statement, Vammi Suttam, thus I have heard of. I understand now and is satisfied with the answer, Venerable Sir. End of query on Sutta. Five dharmas that bhikkhus ought to know. Q. Venerable Sir, please tell us the five dharma that bhikkhus ought to know. A. They are 1. Aspiration. 2. Cultivation. 3. Dedication. 4. Contemplation. 5. Culmination. 1. Aspiration means a bhikkhu should aspire for peace, sukha. 2. Cultivation means a bhikkhu should cultivate for higher knowledge, panna. 3. Dedication means a bhikkhu should dedicate himself to nurture and develop the threefold training: sika, morality, concentration and knowledge; sila, samadhi, panna. 4. Contemplation means a bhikkhu should contemplate to be free from worry, kakaka, and desire, lobha, and be contented. 5. Culmination means a bhikkhu should culminate at nibbana, the ultimate goal of a bhikkhu. These are the 5 dharmas that bhikkhus ought to know.